Hey guys, so today we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to put two air conditioners head to head. So on the bottom you have one of your typical portable air conditioners. This is an air conditioner by Whynter. It is 14,000 BTUs, so it's just over 1 ton of cooling capacity. And on top we have a 10,000 BTU window air conditioner I just picked up at Lowe's today. This unit is the biggest unit that I could fit in my garage window. So I would have liked to have gotten something larger, but that window is only so big and I'm just dealing with what I got here. So I think the conclusion of this video will find that the window unit, though it has less cooling capacity, 10,000 BTUs versus 14,000 BTUs, will actually do a better job. But I certainly don't want to bias anybody or myself. I'll tell you why though. So portable air conditioners, while they're cool in concept, they have a couple of fatal flaws that you really just can't get around very easily. So this one, let's turn it around. So if you look carefully on the back, you'll see that we have our evaporator coil inlet here, we have our condenser coil inlet here, and we have an outlet right here. This is what hooks up to your window, and hot air will blow out of there. So the way this thing works, it works like your traditional air conditioner, except the condensing unit is actually inside the air conditioned space. And that's kind of really the fatal flaw of these units, because if you think about it, that condenser has to be cooled down to turn that superheated gas that comes out of the compressor and condense it into a liquid to go through the evaporator coil and complete the refrigeration cycle. That said, what air is it using to run through that condenser coil? It's using the air in your air conditioned space. So it's taking your cool air and is running that through the condenser coil, warming it up, and then shooting it out the building. So you're taking the air that you've already cooled and using that to cool the condenser coil to condense the refrigerant. So that's kind of one fatal flaw. And because it operates that way, it's actually going to create a negative pressure inside the room that you're air conditioning. So my garage is closed. It's not perfectly sealed, but it's fairly well sealed. And when I run this thing, I'll show you guys when I turn it on, it'll actually suck the inside garage door because it creates a vacuum in the room because it's blowing air out the window. So that's another flaw. So you're drawing air potentially in from un-air conditioned spaces, which further increases the inefficiency of the unit. And then you have this hose right here that connects to the window. So this connects to that port down there. The other side goes to a little bracket that I'll install in the window. I'll show you guys that. And that tube gets hot. It gets to like 120, 130 degrees. And that's also sitting in air conditioned space. So that's going to be rejecting heat to the environment too. So they do make units with dual hoses. This is obviously not one of those. I don't have one to compare it to. Those tend to be more expensive. I'm not sure if they really improve anything though. So in theory, they should be taking air from the outside, the unair conditioned space, running that over the condenser coil, and then rejecting the heat. So hopefully you don't create that negative pressure situation. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have one of those, so can't test that, but at least I'll give you a comparison between a smaller capacity window unit, higher capacity portable, and again, I think that the window unit's actually gonna win this. So let's get started. So I got the window bracket installed in the window, just kind of loosely. I'm not going to bother insulating it too much because I'm going to be putting the window unit in there shortly. It's not going to make a big difference in the test anyway. Again, I don't mean to knock Whynter. What is the pronunciation right? Whynter. This has been a workhorse. This thing puts out super cold air. It does so really well. It's only a couple years old, but I think, again, the fatal flaw is just in the design of these things. So let's get this thing hooked up. Did I put this in backwards? Of course I did. Can't fix stupid, guys. This just snaps in here. Okay, got the machine all hooked up. Let's turn it on. Actually, you know what? Let me think about this test for a second. I think the best way to measure the performance of this unit is probably to measure the amount of time it takes to drop the temperature in the room. So let me get a temperature probe hooked up. Okay, I got one of my air conditioner psychrometers magnetically attached to my hose reel right there. And that's going to measure some pretty detailed aspects about the air conditions of the room right now. So right now it's reading, come on, focus. You guys see that? I can't tell if that's focused. So the dry bulb temperature is 78.5 or so. So this is a pretty accurate meter. So let's time how long it takes to get to, say, a 5-degree drop. I think that's pretty reasonable. So roughly 73.5. So I'm going to get a stopwatch ready. I'm going to turn the unit on. As soon as I hear the compressor kick on, we'll start the clock. So let's power this on. It'll take a few minutes. I guess I have to power it on, right? There we go. So she's booting up right now. Get you guys closer. Turn it on. She's starting. All right, so that's the fan. So warm air. As soon as I hear that compressor kick on, I'll hit start on the phone. I'm ready to go. There we go. Just came on. Clock is running. So I'll come back in here periodically and we'll see how long it takes to come back to roughly 73 degrees. If it can even do it, I have my doubts. So you can see the air is starting to cool off coming out, so thermal imaging, so 72. It takes a few minutes to cool off. Starting to get an idea for how hot that pipe is. 85 degrees. Right now it's about 5 degrees above its surroundings. Now let me show you what I meant about the negative pressure of the vacuum that it creates in the room. So this door is latched right now. I'm just going to touch this a little bit. Notice the door didn't like click shut. I can feel air coming through here. Let's get the thermal imaging camera and get a picture through there. Do we see anything here? Any leakage? Not much, but I can definitely feel a breeze over here. Surprised it's not picking it up on thermal. Another way to look at the negative pressure, I know you guys can't feel the breeze, but this door is spring loaded. If I just go like this and let it go, it'll latch. But notice it bounces back. So it's sucking air from the house into the garage. But I'm going to leave this closed because that could have an effect on our test here, because the house is obviously a lot cooler. Been running almost 3 minutes now. We can see that our discharge pipe is 105 degrees. About 64 to 63 degree air coming out of the unit. But you see what I'm talking about? That thing's lighting up. 108, 107. We're running for just over 4 minutes. Looks like the temperature has come down a bit. It's about a degree lower now. 77.6, 7. You can see that our discharge line on the outside is increasing temperature. It's now 116 degrees. So how effective is having a heater inside your house when you're trying to air condition it? We're running for about 12 minutes or so, and we've dropped the temperature to about 76.6, 76.7. Would have loved to have measured energy usage here too, but my kilowatt has a bad capacitor on there, and I'm waiting for a part, which is very difficult to find. So sorry about that. You can find the energy labels on these things. I think I looked this one up. It estimates $550 a year annual energy usage. And this window unit over here is $86. I'll show you that label. Pretty incredible difference. Now, a little bit about this garage. It's 483 square feet. The ceiling is just drywall, pretty well sealed, not perfectly, but pretty well sealed for a garage. The ceiling is not insulated. The garage door is. It's a 2-car garage. I did insulate the door a couple of years ago. The walls are just concrete block, uninsulated. So a little bit of characteristics about the building to give you an idea about what we're dealing with. And the outside temperature right now is, let's see, 81 degrees. So it's not a huge heat load on the garage. 76.5, so it's coming down slowly at minute 13. Okay, I've been running for 21 minutes. And where are we at temperature-wise? We're at about 76.1, 0.2. Humidity's coming down a little bit too. It does feel noticeably cooler in here. Let's see how we're doing on the thermals. So our exhaust tube is about 108. Our discharge temp is 52, 53. Nice and cold. So we're moving along. Asking yourself, if we think that this portable unit is so inefficient, why do they even make them? Well, there's a pretty good reason. Well, there's a couple of good reasons why you would want to use a portable unit as opposed to a window unit. One, what if you need to cool an interior room in your house and you have no window to put it in, right? What if you have some kind of restriction from your landlord or an HOA about putting window units in? Maybe they don't want, maybe they think they're unsightly. Maybe your window isn't big enough, right? Like I said, this window is just barely big enough, hopefully, to fit that 10,000 BTU unit in there, which is technically too small to cool this garage. This garage probably needs maybe 16,000 BTUs just because of its size. But again, I think that that's probably still going to do a better job. So there are reasons for a portable, that's what I'm getting at. However, obviously a portable takes up floor space. It still occupies a window. And if you're not using it, you got to store it just like you do a window unit. They are a little bit easier to move around though. I mean, they're on wheels normally. The window unit obviously is not. So you got to carry that around, but I don't know. I think, still thinking that if my suspicions are right, the window unit is going to be the better option, even the smaller one. And the BTUs really measures cooling power, right? The cooling capacity of the refrigeration system, but doesn't necessarily mean that a 10,000, if reboot brain. So this has a 14,000 BTU refrigeration system. The window unit, that one, the window unit over there has a 10,000 BTU refrigeration unit, but because of the inherent inefficiencies of this, what is the true cooling capacity of it? That's what you really got to think about. Okay, we've been running for about 41 minutes, and progress seems to have slowed dramatically. It seems to be having trouble breaking out of the 75s. It's been oscillating between 75.5 through 75.8 for what seems like the last 10 minutes or so. So we may have plateaued. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If not, then I'll call it. Okay, I'm pretty sure we've plateaued. Been running for about 45 minutes. I think I know why. So again, back to that whole putting the building in a vacuum, or the room in a vacuum. I turned off all the lights temporarily just to see what things looked like, and I can see air gaps around the garage door that aren't there when this unit isn't running. I know the door is pretty well sealed, but I think that negative pressure that this puts the building under, the room under, is sucking the garage door in a little bit and causing the hot air to come in from the front. And again, it's just a design flaw with portable air conditioners. Now, it might be a little bit better with a dual hose unit, like I mentioned before, but certainly not with a single hose. That's a no-go. So let's see where we're at. 45 minutes, like I said, and we're at 75.7, 75.6. So it's not going anywhere at this point. So I think I'm going to call it. So we're trying to get to 73, but it's not going to happen. And again, it's not even that hot outside. 81 degrees. That's not so bad. Imagine what it'll be like on a 95-degree day. All right, enough babbling. Let's get this thing uninstalled. We'll unbox the window unit, and I'll open the garage door, turn the fan on, just to bring the ambient air in here and kind of put this window unit under a same or similar load. Probably should have done that after I took the screen out, but oh well. Now, one thing I knew going into this is that that top sash, or the bottom sash that moves up and down is not going to fit. This is as high as it goes. The window unit is not going to fit in there, so I'm going to take that bottom sash out, store it, and I'll fabricate something to hold the air conditioner in place. First, let's take the screen out. Don't drop it. Sash out. On these windows it comes out pretty easy. Make sure you clear the pistons. There we go. It should just pop out like that. Don't drop it, don't break it. I spared you guys the unboxing video. As you can see, the new unit is a Hisense. It also uses R32 refrigerant, just like the portable. That seems to be the way the industry is going, and away from R134A. It's a pretty compact unit. Give you a closer look at the inside, though there's not really a whole lot to see. Spinning around. I think this one does have Wi-Fi too. I don't know why you would need Wi-Fi in an air conditioner, but I guess we'll find out. Here's the compressor section over here. That's a little tiny thing. That's what she said. Little baby compressor. Looks like the compressor is made by GMCC. You got your, down here you got your filter dryer and your capillary tubes. This is a capillary system, there's no TXV. Looks like there's an accumulator or receiver of some kind there. You got a process port that looks like it's properly sealed off. Not too much else to see. Guess it's time to hoist her into the window, right? Got the AC installed, got the room vented out. The outside has increased in temperature quite a bit outside. I think it's probably in the mid to high 80s. It's 86 outside right now. And inside the garage, it's gone up in temperature too. It's 82.6, 65.8% relative humidity. So let's kind of do a similar test. Get my stopwatch ready, we'll power this thing on. And as soon as the compressor kicks on, we will start our stopwatch. And again, remember, this is a smaller unit. The time to beat was, I think, 3 degrees and 45 minutes or thereabouts. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to check the footage, but it's on. I hear the fan. No compressor yet. Give it a second. Any day now. Okay, I think the compressor started. Stopwatch is running. Running for about a minute. So the air coming out the vents is in the low 60s so far. You kind of see the thermal picture there. Let's check our temperature probe. It's 80.8, 80.7. All right, we'll come back in about 5 minutes and see how we're doing. Okay, about 5 minutes later, and our temp is down to about 79.2. Humidity's come down quite a bit, 63%. I think it was 66 or 67% before. So we're moving pretty quick. And keep in mind, the outdoor temp is a lot higher now, like I said. Give it another 10 minutes. All right, so after 18 minutes, the temperature is about 78 degrees. Still dropping. Relative humidity's come down quite a bit. It's now 59. So in, I don't know, the 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes this thing has been running, it's actually seems to drop the temperature more than the portable unit, when it's even hotter outside. So if you recall, when we were doing the test on the portable, it was, I think, in the mid 70s. Now it's 10 degrees warmer outside, and the temperature, this has dropped the window units dropped the temperature more in less time, in half the time. Pretty cool stuff. So let's let it keep running. Let's see how low we can get it. Almost an hour later, it's about 55 minutes. Our number seems to be about just under 77 degrees. It's actually quite comfortable in here. It goes between 76.8, 76.9, somewhere around there. I mean, it's very low humidity. It's 51% humidity. And it's actually cooler in here than it is in the house, which I'm sure is probably contributing to why this thing is working so hard. So I'm happy with this. This thing is doing better, using less energy than the portable was. Continue to let this run just to see how low we can get it. I doubt I'm going to hit 72, but who knows. Anyway, if you found this helpful, please subscribe, stay safe, and thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Point of interest. So I'm holding the temperature probe in my hand right now, and it's 74, so it's quite a bit cooler down here. You know, they always say hot air rises. They weren't lying. Thought it felt cooler than that.